Hello and welcome to the webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. A couple housekeeping notes here. We're going to move through this as expeditiously as possible while still giving you as much content and value as we can. So we're not going to waste any time with anything. We're going to crank right through it. Please stop any distractions that you have, meaning that if you have other windows open, if the pets are nearby, if there is anything that will distract you and take you away from complete focus, just set that aside for a moment, because this information will absolutely, without a doubt, improve your business rank on all the major search engines. So, without any further ado, let's get started. A quick introduction, and then we're off to the races. I'm John Spencer Ellis. I'm the CEO of Rank Dominator, and my team and I are happy to help you learn more about ranking your website or blog, depending on what you call it, high on Google, Bing, Yahoo, and really all of the top search engines. This will improve the rank on all of them. So a couple quick notes here. I personally have been online since 1992. Yes, that is a long time. That is really, truly in the infancy of the internet. And throughout that time, I've sold tens of millions of dollars online personally, my own businesses and products and services. And then I've helped clients all over the world in over 20 different industries and niches sell millions and millions of dollars as well. And for my business, over the years, doing these tens of millions of dollars in cumulative sales, I've only spent about 3% of my annual revenue on marketing outside of doing search engine optimization. And you can imagine, if you compare that to other businesses, it's negligible. And the only reason I've been able to do that is because the SEO, the search engine optimization that I've done, has been so effective. And now I help other people do that, and I'm hoping I can help you as well. So I've been doing it a very, very long time. I've been doing SEO so long, we didn't even call it SEO. When I first started, no one knew what the heck it was. You just wanted to get to the top of the search engines. And when I started, it was so long ago, there was no Yahoo, Bing, Google, anything like that. The search engines were Dogpile, AltaVista, and Hotbot. I don't know if you're old enough to remember those, but in fact, that's how the internet started when it became public. Okay. So I've been helping clients just like you with search rank since about 2002, and more every year since then. So it's important for me to let you know that I've done well with search optimization for my own businesses in a wide variety of niches, primarily health, fitness, wellness, nutrition, martial arts, self-defense, personal development, stress management, diet, things like that. Very competitive niches, but I've also done very well in CPA, CPL, affiliate programs, medical, home health care, saunas, jacuzzis, you name it, all sorts of things. So this works for everyone. I've done it for the interior design industry, architecture, contractors, plumbers, and things like that as well. So it works for everyone. So I've achieved top rank in over 20 industries for my businesses, and then for who knows how many for my clients as well. What I will teach you works for local businesses, regional businesses, national and global businesses. It works for brick and mortar, if you're a physical business, or a completely digital business model, or even a hybrid. It works for everyone all the time. That's the beauty of the system. Okay, I think we're ready to get going here. So here's my promise to you. I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible while giving you as much value as possible. Take notes. Pause this for a moment if you need to take notes. And let's give this our undivided attention. And I promise you that you will be able to truly benefit and grow your business and improve your Google rank, regardless if you decide to work with my company or not, just doing the things I'm going to tell you and share with you and show you will dramatically improve your business and your rank on all the search engines. So that's my promise to you. So give me your undivided attention. And in full transparency, after I give you all this value, I will have an offer for you. And I will share with you different ways that you can work with Rank Dominator so we can help you. Okay, so I'm going to give you a whole bunch of value, and then I'm going to show you how you can ramp that up even more by working with us if you choose. So there you go, full transparency. Check this out. This is scary if you are a business owner and rely on search to get you clients to pay your bills. So we'll go through this real quick. The number one ranked position for a keyword on Google gets 31% of all the clicks. So whatever you see on what's called a SERP, S-E-R-P, that means the search engine results page, the number one position gets 31% of all the clicks. And by the way, these numbers fluctuate a little bit, but this is pretty standard for many years. They go up and down a couple points. But basically, this is where we're at right now in this moment of time. So if you're ranked number one, essentially 1/3 of every person who lands on that page after doing their search will go to your site. If you're in number two position, you get 25%. Number three gets 11. Number four gets 8. Number five position gets 6% of all the clicks. So just going from number 5 to number 1 will increase the number of clicks to your site 5-fold. So, well, a little over. So if that's the case, how much more business would that mean? And how many more leads, how many more emails, how many more people in your sales funnel, how many more people looking at your online catalog or downloading something or listening to your materials or watching your videos? It's incredible. Now, from 6 onward, it declines very rapidly from that point. It's incredible. So, I mean, essentially, like when you get to the bottom, which is the 10th position, you're getting about 2% or so of all the clicks on the first page. Now, this is a horrible joke, but being a search engine optimization person, we're allowed to tell bad jokes. And the joke is this: where is the perfect place to hide a murder weapon? And the answer is page 2 of Google. Yes, I know, it's that bad, and that's okay. The point is that no one will ever find the murder weapon because no one goes to page 2. If your business is on page 2, you're dead. It's over. Well, at least until you improve your rank, it is. Essentially, you're not getting any business from Google if you're on page 2. That's just the way it is. Now, be honest. When's the last time that you went to page 2, 3, 4, and 5 to find something you wanted based on a search you did? You probably went maybe halfway down page 1, as these statistics show. So if you're not ranking high, you're just missing out on a lot of business. And I want you to think about this while we're going through all this. How much money are you missing out on every day? So there are 2 main ways of ranking your website. And first, we're going to go through what are called on-site factors. And it's just what it sounds like. These are things that happen on your website. These are things that are in your website. Okay, so there's a few factors. We're going to go over them quickly here and then go in more depth. Now, there's a lot more than what we're going to do here, but I don't want a 5-hour dissertation here for this web class. I just want to go over the fundamentals, and these are really the big things too. So, quality and in-depth content, and evergreen and topical content. So what do I mean quality and in-depth content? If you want to write about something and you only write 200 or 300 words, that's called thin content. Thin content. And if it's more quality and in-depth, you're looking at 500 words, 600 words, 1,000 words, 1,200 words. Some of the most recent blog posts on my personal blog are 1,200, 1,400, 1,600 words long with lots of images and links and things like that as well. That's deep content. And the other thing is that people will stay on your website longer, which is called stickiness. And because there's more content, more to read. And I didn't put that in here, but it's a good point. The longer people stay, the more likely they are to pay. But also, the more the stickiness or stick time, The Google sees that, and they know that you have something of value, of merit for the person who started at Google. And Google wants their web surfer, their user, to have a good experience. So they give preference to sites where people will stay on the site longer. So if you have more quality, in-depth content that is valuable, people will stick longer. They will not bounce, what's called a bounce, where they just get the heck out of there right when they land on the site. And that is an important factor of improving your rank as well. Now, what do I mean evergreen and topical? Evergreen is content like a blog post or a video or something like that, where it doesn't matter what time of year it is or if it's a year or two old. Fundamentally, the primary message in the content is evergreen. It's still true. It's like saying, what is a protein, what is a fat, what is a carbohydrate? And you're giving that fundamental information. That's evergreen because that's science, and at least for a while, that science is not going to change. Topical could be how to reduce bad carbs for summer to get a flatter stomach. It's still carbohydrate related, nutrition related, but it's topical. So from all of our research, we know that Google likes about 50% of your content to be topical, which could be seasonal, right? And 50% of it to be evergreen. Now, there's some exceptions, like if you're a website that's tabloid news like TMZ, but that's a completely different story. That would all be topical with very little being evergreen because the scene is always changing about every 3 hours. So totally different. So quality, in-depth content and half evergreen to where it's valid and has merit and is good information ongoing for many, many months or years. And topical means that it's important this week, next week, for this season, throughout the spring, that sort of thing. And then next, proper metadata. And those are the tags, the descriptions, the titles, the keywords. And we're going to go into this in just a second in more depth. But this is some of it's hidden content, some of it's visible. But basically, it's what Google uses to say, does this match what the person is looking for? And that's not the only thing they look for, but this is one of the things that they do. So that's called your metadata. And you've probably messed with this yourself, but if you haven't, it's actually pretty simple. And your web developer absolutely knows how to do this. It's super easy. So, and then another thing that is important for on-site ranking factors is linking within the site. So that is one page linking to another. That is one page linking back to the biography or the contact information. That is the navigation on like the top nav or the side navigation. It can also be an outbound link. So maybe you have one primary website and then you link it out to another website that is related somehow. Those links matter as well, and you have to do that correctly. So, and just a quick side note, in general, I would suggest having a new window open up when you link out from your site, unless it's going to another one of your sites, which is actually where you want them to go and spend money and time. Then you may not need to open a new window. But essentially, if you have them go someplace else that's related and complementary to your site, but you're not going to benefit monetarily from that, you want that window to open up. And that way, when they close the window, boom, they're right back on your site and they can hopefully interact and buy and do some sort of exchange of business on your site once they're finished at the other site you referred them to. And then lastly, a sitemap. So think of a sitemap as an index. If you remember in school doing an outline for a project, you know, the very typical outline for a report or something like that, a sitemap is kind of structured that same way with a hierarchy. And it essentially tells the search engines, hey, I'm over here. Here are all the pages. This is how they're organized and nested. And I would like for you to see them all so you can index them all. So that's a sitemap. And I'm going to explain how sitemaps can also take place off-site as well. Now, there are many, many other factors, but just doing these things I'm going to talk about now in more detail will make a tremendous difference on your website and in your overall rank and therefore your revenue and your ability to help more people. Here we go. Okay. You want to take more notes here. This would be 3 hours if I went through all this in great detail. So this is a 10,000 foot view here. We're going to start at the top left, which is vlog, which means video blog. So if you have, well, you need to have a YouTube channel. It's just, I was going to say, if you have one, you need to have a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel should have the same fundamental name, content, tags, titles, description, color scheme, everything as your website. So there's continuity and there's not a disconnect when someone travels and clicks from one to the other. There should be a continuity of branding and color, etc. Just real quick, when you go to YouTube and you make your video and then you embed it on your site, the tags, titles, description, and subject matter of that video should be very similar, but perhaps not 100% exact, to the page in which you embed it on your blog. Because Google, which owns YouTube, wants to see the connection between the two, but it shouldn't be repetitive in the sense where it looks like you're just copying pasting, but it should be pretty darn similar, so it's no question that there's a correlation. So these are different ways to add content to, so let me go back a little bit. The reason you want to have all this content is because Google likes to see, and I use Google as just a generalization because it fluctuates, again, about a 67% market share in North America for all search volume. Although, this is interesting too, since the new phones that are coming into competition with the iPhone are using their own voice-to-text system and their own artificial intelligence, and they're using Bing as a default search engine, more searches are done on Bing. So Bing is becoming a bigger player than it was even a couple years ago, and it was because of voice-to-text with the Android phone system. So kind of an interesting sidebar there. So you want to do as many of these things as possible because the more content and the more interaction you have on your site, Google sees that too. They say, oh, wow, they've clicked on this, they've downloaded this, they submitted this form, they're reading this white paper. Google knows all this stuff. And so when they see all this and people interact and communicate, and then there's reciprocity in the agreement because there's blog comments and then replies and all this kind of stuff, Google sees that. And they reward you because you're being a good web host, a good website owner, and their surfer that came from Google, their searcher, is having a good experience and they reward you. Not everyone wants to do a podcast, but that's something else you can add for content. You know, I have a podcast and it's on iTunes and Stitcher and many of the other platforms, but it's also embedded on my blog as well because I want people to come there to my site to see everything else I have to offer. Webinars. Just like this video. You may be watching this video at some point in time elsewhere, but it's starting out as a webinar. And that's a great place to have people stay on your site for a longer period of time while you educate them and add value. Press releases are great as well. So you can do press releases on your site and have an area, a tab, navigation on your site that leads to the press releases. But again, on a side note, you can also have those press releases written and submitted and syndicated externally, and technically it could be an inbound link to your site as well, which would not be on-site content, but you can also take that press release and put it on your website. If you have any events coming up, list all those. So now if people say, I don't know what to put on my website, I'm not sure how to add content, I have nothing to say. Yes, you do. Look at all these options. This is just the beginning. List all your events. You can do a directory. Maybe you run, this is a simple example, but you're a chiropractor and you can do a directory of services for products for spinal health and spinal alignment. And so you could do products, which would be anti-inflammatory. You could do other holistic healthcare services. You might do nutritional supplements. You might become an affiliate of Amazon and refer people for certain types of pillows or foam rollers or bolsters and things like that. That's just one example. So you could have a directory of resources, and then that can be another revenue stream for you as well. But then those are things also you'd open up a new window and have it pop open with that. But then you become a resource, which is another reason for people to come back. Google also likes to see return visitors to your website, and they factor that in as well because then they know that people are having a good experience that they want to come back. You can do a case study. I'm going to use the example of the chiropractor again. Obviously, with the patient's permission, you can show how after chiropractic adjustments and proper physiotherapy treatments and massage therapy and corrective exercise, this person no longer is experiencing the major curvature in their spine. And so here's a case study, so people want to see that. That's called social proof, which is important. But when you, not really disguise it, but present it as a case study, that's also more palatable. This is more of a sales lesson here, but it's more palatable to the potential patient or client as well. So case studies are great. So imagine what you could do with any of your customers who have had a good experience with you, and you could do a case study. And this works for local business. I've worked with a lot of interior designers, a lot of plumbers, roofers, you name it. And a lot of people do completely online global businesses as well. Case studies are simple. People want to know how other people have done after they've used your service, and it's a great way to add content to your website. You can do tutorials. How to blank. How do I blank? If you don't have an idea for that, go to YouTube and you can say, how do I, and then see all the different options that come up. You can just do how do I, and then press the letter A. How do I B? How do I C? And you'll see all the most frequent recent searches that people have used, and then you can narrow that down to your niche as well, just to give you some ideas. I mean, you can do a how-to on anything. People ask you how-to all the time. That's what you do. You fix things, right? And you solve problems. That's why you're in business. So doing tutorials on that would be great. And then the case study is a result of success with the tutorials, as an example. A white paper is generally done in more of a clinical setting. Like you could do a white paper on the results of a clinical trial of a drug. A white paper could be, medically oriented. It can be technical specifications if you're doing anything in industry, things like that. But white papers can be, on a wide variety of topics. And then blogging, my gosh, basically, whenever you blog, whatever you do with your blog, you want it to be consistent. If it's once a week, once every 3 days, I wouldn't do it more infrequent than once a week, because people want to come back and see what's new, and you want to have a reason to email them as well. So make sure that you're doing it on a consistent basis. You can put it into a regular calendar as a reminder to make sure you get out that content. And if you are not good at writing or don't like to write, you can find experts in any industry to write for you from a company called Upwork.com. Just like it sounds, work.com. All right, so there are many options for you right there. My gosh, a whole bunch of different things that you can do. And this is just the beginning, but now look at what you can do. Just doing that will dramatically raise your site in the rankings. Okay, we're just getting started. So now we're going to nerd out a little bit here, but I promise not to get too technical. So the metadata comprises of several different things. So here's an example. This is a screenshot from Google, and this just says, Boston College football schedule. So whenever you do a search on Google and then you click search, what comes back is the SERP, search engine results page. The first line you see is the title of your page. And you can see none of these are actually the home page. These are all, this is actually a Boston College .rivals. That's a subdomain of this domain, and then a sub page of that. So none of these are actually the home page. So this is why it's really important to properly index and optimize every page, because we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But it's very, very important that every page, not just the home page, is really set up properly. A lot of people focus too much on just the home page. It is important, but sometimes it's harder to rank the home page than it is on sub pages, because you're working or talking about such a drilled down specific thing. It's easier to rank for that because there's less competition. So whenever you're building a web page, or if you're going to go back and edit a web page, make sure that the title is descriptive of how people will be searching for what you are offering. And I'm going to show you how to do that. But that's one thing right there. That is the metadata, the title tag. Next is the description tag. So this is an example here. Moz is a company that, this example here is a company that provides search engine data, research and stuff like that. So they provided this here. So just as an example, so again, the blue line at the top, that is the title, and then the green is the URL and the page, moz.com/beginners-guide to SEO/keyword-research. So see how even the page URL extension is very specific to what people want, but also look how it's complementary to the title but not exact. It's complementary to the description but not exact. So they all help and support each other without being redundant. So the description should be not too long because it will get truncated, and if it's too short, it doesn't give enough information. And every search engine has a slightly different total number of character limit. So I'm not going to go over that right now, but you can see, and you'll actually get instructions on this with Rank Dominator of how to do this so it's not too long, too short, and you get everything in there that you need. But you can see how the different words are highlighted because these are the different words that someone searched. And so Google says, oh yeah, here's all it's SEO, keywords, keywords. And this is a beginner's guide to, and this got truncated here, ... but it's going to be SEO. And so there's all this correlation here, but this is the metadata, and this is very, very important. Okay, so title, URL, description. Got it? Okay. Getting a little nerdy here. This is HTML code. If you don't know how to do this, don't worry about it, because whoever built your website literally can do this in their sleep. There's nothing to it. It's just that most people don't do it right, or they skipped it, or they don't think it's important, or whatever, or they just were completely unaware, which is unfortunate. So this is what it looks like when you look at the code of a website. This is basically what Google sees. This isn't what you see, but this is what Google sees. So this first one is the title. You don't have to learn this code right now. Don't worry about that because it's literally almost done for you. It's so simple. But this is just what it looks like once it's propagated and live online. So the title's here. This is the description again. And then the keywords don't show up in the SERP, the search engine results page. You only see the URL, the web address, the title, and the description. The keywords support the other information, and Google uses that to quantify with their algorithm, with some other factors, is this the best possible match? You can see it's complementary but not exact. That's important. And there's also diversity in it. It's not repetitive. They don't say headshot, 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 photographer to photographer, photographer, photography. It's not like that. It's complementary words that support the idea that there's a great photographer in New York, which is also known as Manhattan, that does headshots, right? That's the message that's conveyed. So we're going to break this down a little bit more, and I'll show you how simple this is, okay? So metadata is linking on the site. So this is just an excerpt actually from a page on my site. This is called anchor text, and I'm going to go over this a little bit more later. But when you have a word that is linked, that word is the anchor text. If there is no text and it's just http://yoursite.com as an example, that's called a raw link, and it doesn't have an anchor text to it. And that's important too, because you need to have some of that diversity as well. More important when links are coming to you, but also you should mix it up within your site as well. I only got part of a snippet of this page. It actually does have a raw link in there as well. I just couldn't get the whole thing on the slide here. So, but also you don't want the same word repeated over and over and linked on the site. You notice there is a little bit of redundancy here, but like this says the Spencer Institute, this is Spencer Institute, and then it's a little bit broken down, and you're only looking at about half the page there as well. So there's a lot more to it. There's a lot of other links in the navigation as well, so that creates more diversity. But you want to have a wide range of types of links, meaning the type of words that are linked, but also you want some of them which are the raw URL, meaning the http://www.yourwebaddress.com, if that's what it is. And then those words that are linked, which are called your anchor text. You want diversity in that. And Google's looking at this as a ranking factor as well. How relatable is it to the query that people made to find your page? All right. Next, we have a site map. And I think that might be a little bit blurry for you. I apologize if it is. So basically, this is the hierarchical structure that I was talking about earlier. This kind of like an outline. So this is vertical. Vertical, not, wait a minute. Yes, I'm trying to say it's horizontal. Horizontal, not vertical. Oh my gosh, it's horizontal, not vertical. So like if you're doing a regular book outline or for a report or something like that, it would just go from top to bottom and keep going down. This particular one is done 3 rows across. This is just one example. There's a lot of different ways of getting a sitemap. So if your site does not have a sitemap, it's easy to add a sitemap, and your web developer can do that for you. It's very simple. If you are using WordPress, which I forget what the amount of website is now online. It's, because it changes all the time. About 50%, I believe, of all websites in the world are currently built on WordPress, which is just phenomenal. It's a great tool, very easy to use. Google eats it up, indexes well, and you can actually get free plugins that will build sitemaps. And then some of them even have a button that will submit the sitemap to Google for you. So I don't know how effective that part of it is, but it does have that function on a couple of them, okay? But there's also more than just Google, and there's about 10 different ways to do a sitemap. So it's important to do this, and we're going to show you how we can help you with that a little bit more as well. So basically what this does, what a sitemap does, is it says to Google and Yahoo and Bing, and if you're in China, Baidu, that's their big search engine there. It says, hey, I'm over here. Here are all my pages. Make sure you see all of them and index them so people can find them. That's what this does, okay? So there's on-site sitemaps, that's what this is, and then there are off-site sitemaps, which is what Rank Dominator does as one of the services. Okay, so here are the off-site ranking factors. So everything we showed you up until this point are on-site factors. Now there are off-site factors. Number 1 are inbound links. We'll get into that a lot. Number 2 is anchor text of the links. So what does the link say? What is the word that is linked that is going to your site? Link diversity, meaning that if you're a plumber, you can't say plumber, 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 plumber. And that's all you have because it looks like you're trying to game the system. You can't do that. You have to have appropriate link diversity. And then the authority of the links. Where is the link coming from? Does that person have trust? And that's the next one, trust flow. So when the other website has authority, that trust flows to you because people would assume that a trustworthy site would give a citation or a mention or a link to someone else that is also trustworthy. And then the last one here, and again, there are so many other factors, but these are the big ones. Social mentions. So years ago, social mentions obviously wasn't an algorithmic factor because there was no social media. But with the advent of Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all those others, it matters if people are talking about you and what they're saying and are they linking and everything like that. So all that matters. Now we're going to dive in a little deeper. It's all about the links. Yes, it is. By far, without a doubt, unquestionably, this is the number 1 off-site factor for ranking your site. But be warned. Da-da-dum. Some links are dangerous. And you must get this right. So what do I mean? There are companies that will sell you 10,000 Wikipedia links. And they're garbage. And Google can see that and say, you're just trying to play a game. You get no credit or you'll get penalized. And you don't get to play in the sandbox anymore. So you have to be very careful with that. Or if someone says, I will do X number of blog comments for you, because done correctly, blog comments can improve your ranking because you link back to your site when you leave your information in the blog comment. But people just do this horrible, spammy nonsense, and Google sees it. And you make a lot of website owners angry, and you upset Google, and it does nothing for you, and you wasted your money. So you can't just do like these, oh, it's $5, it's $10, it's just junk, and it will screw up your site. So please, 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 please don't do that. You must get this right. Link quality is more important than link quantity. So here's an example. Having 500 links from a junky blog in a different industry. So maybe you are a dermatologist, but you got 500 links from someone who has a construction company in Des Moines, Iowa, but you're in Juneau, Alaska. That does nothing for you and could be hurtful, harmful to you, and sometimes irreversible. So you don't want to do things like that. It's important. It's more important to get 10 links from an industry leading blog in your niche than 500 from something that's completely irrelevant. That's just the way it works. So please don't fall into those, hey, I'll buy links for you scam stuff. It's just really, really bad, and you can harm your business, especially when they're talking about mass quantities of links. I'll do 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 Wikipedia links and blog comments, and oh my gosh, that's the death of your business. Link diversity is critical. Okay, so I've said this before. So if you're a plumber, you don't want everything to say plumbing. In fact, you might have different pages on your website, or how to fix and unclog a drain. Another one might be how to repair a wax seal on a toilet. Another one might be, I hope I use this right. There's a plumber listening to this. The L stop, is that what it is? It's like an L junction. Those can wear out and rupture. How to replace that, or when do you know you need to? So you can create all that kind of content on your site. And then we at Rank Dominator, or you if you do it on your own, can get links to that particular page, and they will be links that are similar to the content on that page. So then the anchor text, meaning, so if it's about fixing a wax seal on the toilet, a link going into that page may say something to the effect of, how do I replace the wax seal on my toilet? And the title of the page would be wax seal replacement on your home toilet, right? So it's similar but not exact. I hope that makes sense for you. Raw links don't have anchor text. So anchor text in this case for the plumber would be replacing a wax seal on the toilet. I'm paraphrasing. And a raw link might be http://www.plumbercentral.com/wax-seal-tutorial. Maybe .html, depending on how your site is. And so that would make sense, right? Because it's complementary, it's synergistic. You need to have that correlation. But you can have some links that come into your site that are raw, that don't have anchor text. Because if you don't have the anchor text on some of them, that's natural. Because not everyone that's going to link to you is going to link in with the exact phrase that you want. So you need some natural raw links that are just the web address with not a specific word linking to you. I hope that makes sense for you. This is the interesting thing. Yes, this is a real website. I did not make up the name. I do not own the website. I just use it. It's called keywordshitter.com, just as it sounds. And it will, how do I say this? Give you a list. I'm not even going to try it. It will give you a list of words that are related to anything that you're searching for. So let's just say that you're a dermatologist and you're in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's where Rank Dominator is headquartered, in Las Vegas. So let's just say you are a dermatologist in Las Vegas. So you might just put in keywordshitter.com, dermatologist, Las Vegas, and then let it go. and literally come back in 3 or 4 hours, and you'll get this enormous list of all the words and phrases that are related to that keyword phrase. That's how people are searching for your business. You might only have a few words that you think people are using to find you, but I promise you, you're not even close to being accurate of all the different ways that people are searching for your products or companies that are similar to yours, offering similar programs, products, services, etc. Okay? So going back to link diversity, here's an example. Let's just say you're a weight loss expert, coach, person. So if I did this, lose weight now, lose weight fast. So if those are my key words I wanted to optimize and rank for, they're not nearly as helpful as how can I lose weight fast, best way to lose extra weight, and local weight loss programs. However, if you want to do something geographically specific, let's just use Las Vegas again, you would say something like, how can I lose weight fast in Las Vegas? Best ways to lose extra fat in Las Vegas. Las Vegas local weight loss programs. And you might say Las Vegas nutrition coach, Las Vegas personal chef, if maybe you do something like that as well. So those are more diverse and complementary and synergistic without being overly redundant. And that creates the appropriate footprint for Google and the other engines to where you are conveying your message properly. So these are some different things to think about here, okay? And also, this isn't just the metadata and the links going into your site. You want this kind of diversity in the quality content you're providing within your site as well. So it's all about the links. So this is interesting, trust flow. So check this out. Trust flow is a number predicting how trustworthy a page is based on how trustworthy sites tend to be that link to other trustworthy neighbors. Think of it as a good referral. So if someone is quality as an individual or a company, they're likely to refer to other cool, trustworthy, good people offering good, helpful advice or services, products to other people in their neighborhood, community, or niche. That being said, Google understands that a company that is trustworthy is not going to do an outbound link to a junky company because it would hurt them. It would hurt their reputation. So based on that tendency of a good company to refer to another good company, that trust from company A flows to company number B. They don't get 100% of it, but they get some of it. And so the more companies that are high quality that you can get links from really matter. So if you are a health professional and you get a link from WebMD, far more important than the kid down the street who has a 3-page blog on healthy eating. It's not bad. It won't hurt you, but the trust flow from WebMD is much greater, and you'll benefit more from that link that comes in, especially if you can optimize the anchor text. Sometimes you don't have a choice that comes in from a site like WebMD. That makes a big difference. Okay, so moving right along here. You're doing great. I hope you're taking lots of notes. So Google now looks at how people are talking about you and your business on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. All the search engines. To my knowledge, it's all of them, but to different degrees, and they change their algorithm all the time. Here's what matters. Google and the other engines see what's going on here. They know when people are talking about you or your business online and social media. Obviously, if you're linked more, if you're tagged more, all that matters even more, but just being mentioned and being in the discussion and being a player and an influencer in social media gives you more credibility outside that social arena as well. It's that simple. So that's another reason why you should stay active, and also another sidebar, but do proper reputation management. And there are reputation management companies for you out there. So you make sure that as to the best of your ability, people are saying good things about you because you want that good word to travel far, and Sometimes people just like to say bad things because sometimes it makes them feel good about themselves, but it's not necessarily good for your business. So you want to squash that stuff as much as possible. However, if you make an error, this is another business lesson, not an SEO thing. If you make an error with your business, take ownership of it, do it publicly, and thank the person for pointing it out, and let the people know that you care and do respond. As an example, with the airline companies that don't respond and don't help people on social media, it really, really adversely affects their business. So take the high road, take ownership, squelch the negative social commentary, improve the positive social relationships and mentions, and it will improve your rank on Google. It's that simple. So here's how I can help you. Here we go. Here is the offer I promised earlier. So my company, Rank Dominator, offers you incredibly effective and affordable off-site SEO service. So you can crush the competition, or if that's too intense for you, you can relieve them of their top position on Google and assume it for yourself. And you can earn the money online you want and need. That's a good thing. So we handle 100% of the off-site SEO. We show you how to make simple adjustments to your on-site SEO. And here's the best part. You keep 100% admin control and security. So you don't have to give us your username and your password and your IP address, and we don't have to talk with anyone, on a regular basis and get access, and you're worried about overriding stuff. None of that happens. We show you simple ways that you or your web designer can enhance your business. Every month you get a new resource, a new tool, one more thing to do. It's real simple. It only takes 5 minutes, but to dramatically improve your rank on the engines from the on-site perspective. So you get those lessons from us. Every month we handle 100% of the off-site SEO. And that way we don't have to have any administrative control of your website at all. You maintain 100% security. And I know that is desirable to a lot of people. So here's a breakdown of the process. Our system creates safe, effective, Google-friendly, have you heard that phrase before? Google-friendly links to your site and each page. And I'll explain that in a minute. And there is no chance of over-optimizing with our proprietary AI, which means artificial intelligence. So here's where I get to brag about the people that are on my team. One of the gentlemen who helped develop the technology we use to do this literally wrote some of the code for Amazon. Yes, Amazon.com. The dude is smart. And what he's been able to do with the tools that we use to rank your site is just incredible. I personally have over 300 websites, and they've all improved in rank. None of them have had an issue with Google. None of them have ever been penalized. None of them have even stayed the same. They've just all improved. So it's pretty remarkable when you think about it from that perspective. And the same has been so for all of our clients who have been using this as well. So I'm going to explain the breakdown of this here in just a second. So our ranking system also creates safe, effective, Google-friendly offsite site maps. So all search engines will see and index every page on your site. There's no chance of over-optimizing, again, because of the proprietary artificial intelligence built into this. So earlier I showed you a site map, which you can do on your site if you don't have one already. And if you have one, just keep it current and make sure it's functioning properly. You can have more than one site map. So you can have one on your site, and you can do what I just explained for on-site. And then we create multiple off-site site maps. And that way there's multiple ways for Google to say, oh yes, I see their site. I see it's listed completely here in a hierarchical structure, and it's listed here. And the best thing is, every month we update it as you update new information on your website, so it's constantly current, and then it pings Google to say, hey, come over here and check it out again. Bob or Sally just added more content to their website. You need to check it out again and see all the new things that they're doing. So you're always relevant. Our system has over 6 ways to create unique, quality, safe, and effective links. That's the most important thing, that it's safe and effective. First, safe, because you don't want to do any damage, obviously, right? And it's effective because you want it to work. And then we do this with the sitemaps and the online mentions about your business based on information you provide when you sign up, which takes just about 5 minutes. And remember, I have to emphasize this, there's no chance of over-optimizing with our proprietary artificial intelligence because it's constantly scanning everything to say, you know what, they have enough words about plumbing. Based on the keywords we were given, these are the next words that are most searched, most relevant, pertinent to their geographic region or what people who have bought from their competitors are already searching for. So this is the next one we're adding to the mix. And so every month, more words, more pages are slowly, steadily, carefully added to the mix with all the mentions, the sitemaps, the links, and everything put together. And it's very, very strategic and methodical. And the proprietary artificial intelligence just constantly monitors everything so nothing is over-optimized. It's really that simple. So when do you see results? This is what everyone wants to know. Darn it, I want it yesterday. Well, the truth is, when you do all those things that we're talking about for on-site, you will get some results no matter what. That will happen. You will, if you do everything we told you to do for your on-site, your site will improve on its own. If you work with us and do all the off-site things as well, you can see results in as little as 2 weeks. But it can take longer. And SEO is a long-term strategy. It's not like, set it and forget it, and then you don't do anything. It's something that you monitor and you learn from, and you adjust and you tweak and you get new data, and then we communicate and you make sure that you do it correctly. Each month, we dive deeper into your site and enhance previous work and build more links and update the sitemaps as you add more content to your site. And by the way, we don't do 10,000 Wikipedia links and a bunch of blog comments. That stuff's a bunch of nonsense. That doesn't work. This is done very, very strategically. And some people may be wondering if we do what's called a PBN, which means a private blog network. And the answer is no, because Google doesn't like those anymore. So we do not use PBNs, private blog networks. Just so you know, in case you were wondering. So here's a quick reminder. And just ask yourself this question, because this is truly unbelievable. How much money are you currently losing each day? Each day. Because essentially all your new customers are coming from online. I mean, you're going to get some customer referrals if you're doing good business, and that's awesome. That's ideal. But the truth is that the vast majority are going to do some sort of online search. So if you're not ranked number one, you're missing out on a lot. Now, let me say this too, real quick. If anyone is promising you that they can get you to number one for every keyword and everything, they're lying to you. They're just not being honest. There's never, ever a guarantee. But I can promise you this, wherever you are now, doing the things that I have shared with you and working with Rank Dominator will dramatically improve your rank on Google. Wherever it is, it will rise up significantly. But if anyone says they can guarantee you a number one position, they're just not being truthful. And I wouldn't have another conversation with them. It's just not so. But let's just say you were ranked on page 2. I think getting to rank position number 3 on the first page within 60 to 90 days is very reasonable. If you're ranked number 7 on the first page, I think getting to number 2 or 3 within 4 months is reasonable. And so what is that worth to you? What is the average sale? Let's just say that you get currently 20 leads a day from your website. Well, what if you got 100? How much is that worth? What if you're a local coffee shop and people passing through are doing an online search to find your coffee shop? What if you sold 20 extra cups of coffee a day at $3 to $6 a cup? That's pretty good, right? So what are you missing out on each day? How much money are you losing each day by not having top rank? And remember, this is just Google. Then there's Yahoo and Bing and all the other complementary engines as well, all the way down to AOL. I mean, it all matters. And remember, from 6 onward, it declines very, very rapidly. Also, when you sign up with Rank Dominator, we give you information to get an account so you can monitor the progress in real time. It's pretty cool to see that happen. So how do you get started? Step 1, click over to rankdominator.com right now. Pretty easy. Step 2, decide which affordable package is right for you. And the packages truly are a nominal fee. I wanted to do it as affordably as possible. So you'll see when you get over there, it's just a ridiculously low price. Let's see. The packages. The pricing options are based on how many different keywords you want to rank for. And remember, we do additional words around those primary words. So there will be complementary keyword phrases that we will help you rank for around the 3 words or 8 words or 15 words or whatever it is that what package you're choosing. So know that you're going to get more than just those there, because we have to find out which words are also complementary to the primary keyword phrases that you want to rank for. And when you get over there and you see it, it's super easy to understand. You submit your info and your keywords, and you're all set. You receive confirmation, and we're ready to get started on your site. And then you're shown what to do first for your on-site stuff. It'll literally take like 3, 4, 5 minutes. No big deal. If you want to do it, great. If not, your web designer can do it. Super, super easy. Literally, it can almost be done with your eyes closed if you could figure out where you are on the screen. It's that easy. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I appreciate your time and attention. If you want to go this on your own, you will have some success, there's no doubt. If you want to take it as far as you can and have the help of Rank Dominator, so you can focus on what you do best, and we can focus on what we do best, and that is getting you as high as possible on Google, Yahoo, and Bing, and all the other major search engines, then click over to rankdominator.com and check out what we have to offer for you. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Thanks a lot.